Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode with Ludwig MSQs a lot. This is part of our Final Fantasy XIV experiment where one character does all of the side content in the game and one character just does the MSQ. So we're going to make some more progress with our guy Lud here today, who is just going to be working on MSQ. So if you look around here, you'll see he's got some side quests available, but I wouldn't dare touch them. So now we are going back to Stalewern to continue that quest line. That sea sloth Severin and his lot, never around when there's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round 'em up and let 'em know that Stalewern would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. Alright, so we're going to do that. Let me make sure that I did. Okay. Look at this guy! Oh my god! That's so cute. Good outfit, good outfit. Wait! They a little troop? Oh, I love this game. Okay. Your name is just water? Work? Ha! Can't work when my hands are full lifting this mug. You know, I'd wager my last skill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Your name is water. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing Stalewern chores if it'll afford me the taste of proper grog. Alright, move the mic around. Let's continue going. In case you hear a change in audio, it's because I heard an echo, like, coming back to me, so. Alright, let's look around for this guy. Oh, you look like a slacking Yemen. Sozai Rarzai. Ugh, how am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess at what I had for breakfast. Ash tuna. What? Gods, how'd you know? It's my breath, ain't it? Probably smells as wooden as the food tasted, but I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food in me, but I ain't one to reject a summons from the captain. Captain? Okay, there's this fella. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? You bet your beard I did, lad. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'd have to be satisfied taking my axe to the trees. So Stalewern sent you. And what do you reckon I say to that? Damn right. Didn't get where I am by taking guff from any glorified gardeners, but I suppose I could see what he wants to get him off my back. Mandragoras are tiny, as said by their name, but they have such loud footsteps. Oh, and now he stops walking. Are you self-conscious? Can you walk? I was hoping to hear your little legs. Sir? Wow. I am Servant Severin. You the old man's errand boy now? Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. Okay, now are you gonna walk? Seriously? Oh, okay. Do you hear it? I hope that picked up in the game audio. They're so loud. It always makes me feel like something's following me and it's really just a tiny mandragora. You continue to impress, lad. All but Severin are accounted for. It's no fault of yours, he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, the next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt, where all such worms belong. Woohoo! A level up, and we learned Addle, which is, from what I recall, useless. It's a little bit of a mitigation. Nope. Targets dealt damage. Well, whatever, I'll stick it on the bar. I believe we have read the roll action tooltip before, so I'm going to continue with the next quest. Pains me to say, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some like you who can be trusted, but then there are others, until now, I've had no choice but to rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I'm full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that was happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me, Miss Queselot. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt if anything comes out of his mouth. Okay, so we are going way down there. The MSQ journey and this, I guess, dialogue box. I don't know what to call that. This part of the UI that has the MSQ quest with the job quest underneath. And so my reasoning for not doing job quests initially was like, okay, if I'm thinking like a player who's trying to rush through the story, they're not going to do their job quests. But thinking about it, if I look at this UI, it's up here, which would imply like, oh, this is part of the main scenario. So I'm almost tempted to just start doing the job quests as well. But we'll see how I feel. Bloody hells, I'm up the strait without a paddle. Are you? Oh, I need to cast doubt on your actions. Sorry. What's this now? Steelhorn sent you for the oranges? Huh. So the old bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyways? Listen, you're one of those goody two-shoes adventurer types, right? Go rescue my mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. Okay, got the goblin muggers down. We're gonna aid these fellas. It is interesting, like, I feel bad, like, the gobbies and the keykerns and stuff like that. Like, when I have to go kill them for quests, I feel so bad. Like, the ones that I've met are so nice that I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. And maybe it's because they're cute, because I don't feel the same way when I kill Amalja. Like, the Amalja, I'm just like, okay, time to die. Oh, I didn't read those dialogues out. I apologize. They were probably just like, oh, I don't know what I would have done. You saved my mates, and for that, I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like the cut of your jib. Take it to Ossine and send him my regards. I do know how to interact. And we are taking it down here. What have we here? A delivery from Summerford Farms, and is scheduled? Huh, there's a first time for everything. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing, either. About the only things not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Stalewern's payment in full. With you, I can trust it'll reach him. Go back to seeing Stalewern. Back in one piece. Peace. Back in one piece. That's a relief. How did you fare, Miss Cuselot? I got a sack of gill. Ah, this is what I was aiming for. Looks to be all I was owed, all right. Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those god's-forsaken goblins. You do well to mind yourself around that 2-guild cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. I am a disciple of magic. No, not the ugly hoodie. I have to put on the ugly hoodie. It's horrible. Alright, put the stupid hat on. Ew! Actually, wait, he kind of looks like Obi-Wan. Oh, I know him. He is me!
We know him. Well, of course I know him. He's me.
Alright, Gurkant. Blast! At this rate, the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam. Just a bit could send our stocks soaring. I'll bet Rochweeda knows where you might find some. Perhaps we might pay her a visit in the orchard? Of course I know him. He is me. That Gherkin's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cookpot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the orcs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels worth, take the black loam to what? Take the black loam to Take the black loam to Michelle Pfeiffer at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Already coming at me. Stupid outfit because I think it's terrible, and the only way to properly commemorate a terrible outfit is with a screenshot and a thumbnail. So I'm gonna do /lookout and then go into G-pose. Taking a thumbnail, I'm taking a thumbnail. Of course I know him. He is me. So stupid. Oh yeah, that's the thumbnail I want. Perfect. Alright, you get up there. Mesquezalot. Even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach, eh? Oh, don't tell me Gherkin and Rotweeda neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Well, surely you figured out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from the Oryx's lair of all places. Well, why dwell on who misled who about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. Ooh, I got an achievement. Storyteller 1. Complete 10 unique quests. Confounded pirates! They know nothing of tilling, only killing! Stealing our shovels to melt and forge into axes, of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds them, the mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself if I hadn't sworn to Stalewern that I wouldn't fight no more. So now, I need you to bring back our farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. We're going to keep our distance here, because this can get a little precarious if they do all aggro to me at the same time. Oh, shit. See? See? Told you it would get precarious. Oh, an interrupt. Perfect. So the other thing to keep in mind is that I'm not good at this game. So it might take me a few tries to do things that most people can do right away. So you will have to forgive me on that. I've recovered the stolen tools. I wonder what those sea dogs will try and steal when there's no harvest. Good to see the tools back and in serviceable condition. Which will be more than we can say of Severin when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Spied him meeting the pirates in secret, I did. I couldn't care less if the wastrel won't work, but when he consorts with cut purses that take our tools away, he's crossed the line. Stalewern ought to know what sort of scalawag he's dealing with. Take word to him, would you? Pirates making off with our tools? Michelle Pfeiffer did well not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. But I'll be damned if Severin thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. I will take that new book for myself. Oh! Nice. I've got stuff. Stuff and things. Let's see. So we have Fester, deals unaspected damage with a potency of 340. Energy Drain deals unaspected damage with a potency of 200. That looks like that should probably go like that. Sleep puts target and all nearby enemies to sleep. I will never use that again. Aether Flow Gauge. Using the action Energy Drain fills the Aether Flow Gauge, which is required to perform certain actions. The Trance Gauge indicates the time remaining for the effects of Aether Charge. Executing this action also grants Ruby Arcanum, which is used to summon Ruby Carbuncle. Upon reaching level 15, Aether Charge will also grant Topaz Arcanum for the summoning of Topaz Carbuncle, and at level 22, Emerald Arcanum for the summoning of Emerald Carbuncle. Each summon, when called forth, will tap into its respective arcanum, granting you stacks of elemental attunement, indicated on the trance gauge. These elemental attunements will augment Gemshine and Precious Brilliance, acquired at level 26. I've come to expect a great deal from you, lad, and you've never once let me down. Yet what I'd ask of you now goes beyond aught I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? It eases my mind to have your ear. You're no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severin by now. Well, the scheming scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up all his rogues and buggered off with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. It ain't exactly damning, but when last I had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. So I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. The ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice it to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. As for how to find him, I'd try asking Grinweeda at the Aetheryte. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. Nothing that passes through those gates escapes my notice. I saw the Rouser and his rabble set out for Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Shrieky Sods said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that had pickled their brains. If you find the idle swine, be sure to give him a cuff round the ear from me, would you? Okay, made an adventure plate. That was a worthy detour, and now we're going to continue on in the hopes of becoming America's Next Top Model. Of all the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastard done, claiming to take the lads out for a drink, only to lead us straight into a bloody trap. It don't get no lower than that. Of course, I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready, but the others weren't so lucky. You've got to help 'em. I'm on my way. Is it down here? Is it these water sprites? Is that where I'm going? Yeah. Oh, I see. Woad Whisper Canyon. You were gonna go for a drink in the canyon? Oh, hello, Rogadin. Grabbing the dumpster and moving. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. My axe may as well have been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards in there are done for. Oh my god, I'll help you. Don't worry, you Lalafell. Severin might have gotten us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than be in that conniving bastard's debt. To arms! I don't like fishback, but I also don't know what else I'd like, you know? Because I get where it's coming from. You staying in here? Okay.
A true knave. You betray even yourself, Severin.
Oh my!
We were prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though it be, we shall take it.
Oh? Okay, this is really important. Should I channel?
It is the blessing of light that confounds you. Okay. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life.
What was that look? Defeat the clay golem. Can do, can do. Whee! Boop! Boop!
You are strong, but are you strong enough to withstand this?
Are you helping? Place, stay, guard, steady. Do you not do anything?
Impossible! Never has the golem been so sorely tested.
Oh, wasn't bad at all.
That the golem could be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer.
Thank you for letting me know I got a Moogle letter again.
The snake slithered away. I am only glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs into more deeply into you.
More deeply into you. I'm doing such good voice acting today. Oh!
Those pirates do not belong to any of the known Lominsan factions. Whom then do they serve? The beast tribes? Surely not.
Tell me, for whom do you fight?
But the timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahagin and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is, what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if they should prove so. Limsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone 2. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence.
Did I just get static on my brain?
The seas continue to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. And ilm by ilm the world becomes ever more unlike itself.
It is as Louis Soir foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see Aether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace.
Here, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes the Great Hole in the Sea its training ground. Join in the celebrations.
Wait. A disturbance in the etheric flow. But whence does it emanate? Sea Song Grotto, perhaps? What have we here? Can you walk? "'Tis I. Regrettably, no. He eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore." "You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered?" "Severin here has apprised me of all that transpired. His account sheds some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem, of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded to be otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But then, these tattooed wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of the Sahagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stalewern will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit." "Ah, he told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Y'shtola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the Aether in the hope that it might offer up some clue as to our predicament."
I'd say I owe you my life, but that doesn't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms and I'll face the consequences."
"For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me. Mayhap we shall have a chance to speak again, when I have marshalled my thoughts. Until our paths next cross, farewell."
Of course I know him. He is me! Okay. Going back to Summerford.
Tata. Wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata.
Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your day. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna
up my ta-ta-ta-ta. Ooh, ta, ooh, ta. Alright. Return. Y'shtola delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back, too, the lot of 'em sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that. That and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver. A thrall to the Sahagin? 7 hells! Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishback's flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, see? But the Reavers have never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Lominsons. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahagin masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets oh my god! Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long round here, and word soon spread all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offered me a way out instead. My freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking, too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear 'em talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at the last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that. I do. That's why I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more.
You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad.
And I'll always be in your debt, Sailworn. I owe you a debt too, Ludwig. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the men of my farm. If I could ask one more favor of you, it'd be this. Tell Baderon what's happened, from start to finish. I'm certain he'd put in a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. And he's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. Well, I reckon I've asked all I can possibly ask of you. Safe travels, son.
Of course I know him. He's me!
Oh, wow. Why did I do that? Bloody hills? That's not the voice! Bloody hells. Life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. But you needn't worry about... It's not my day for trying to read, is it? But you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jacket zans out the punishments. Good mate of mine. If I ask him nice, I reckon he'd be willing to communicate the lad's sentence from hanging to keelhauling, kindly gent that he is. I'm only jesting with you. I'll see he's treated fair. Now, it sounds to me like you've done everything old Selwyn asked of you, and more, justifying my generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged, lad. As for your reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How'd you fancy keeping her company for a spell? Free room and board. Venturing's a trying business, after all. Them as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones, and take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so much fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that? Good. There'll always be free bed for you, so make use of it. In rooms now available. Not that you'll have much time for lying around, what with all the levs you'll be doing. Oh, didn't I mention I'm putting your name down for levs? Our guild draws all manner of clients, offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much folk will pay to avoid doing an honest day's work of labour. Just give to Mockery a shout whenever you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have some task or other for you to do. Guild levs now available. Oh, and it's all above board, in case you're wondering. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side near, unlike some pirates I can mention. I tell ye, if it turns out they had aught to do with them kidnappings, there'll be 7 hells to pay. Proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhap that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to ride it. We'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. You now have access to recommendations. This feature displays a list of quests or duties currently available in your area. The recommendations list can be opened from under Duty in the main menu and will also be displayed automatically when you log in. If you find yourself unsure of what to do next, this tool makes it simple to locate activities suitable for your present class and level. How do you fare, Ludwig? Rested and ready to expand your horizons? Well then, I've an idea where you might try heading next. Have you heard of the Skylift out in Middle Lenosha? If you've ever visited Woad Whisper Canyon, then you must have been up and down the thing at least once. It's that big bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You've likely seen the lads and lasses out there using it to haul cargo up the cliff face. Hard labour that, and I hear they could use an enterprising soul to pick up the odd jobs what no bugger has time to deal with. Track down the head of the operation, bloke by the name of Workrit, and they'll be sure to put you to work on a task or two. Right, we are off to the Skylift, but before we do that, I am going to make my way to the Arcanist's Guild to pick up my job quests, because I did decide I'm going to go ahead and do those as well. Oh my goodness! Look at you! Oh, to the stars and beyond. You're so right, Astral. You're so cute. Okay. If I get to the Arcanist's Guild.
I wonder if you know how they do in Tokyo.
Ah, Ludwig, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must oft remind my Arcanists to take meals, so ensconced do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your skills with Carbuncle? Believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lenosha. 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for breakfast. Consider yourself welcome at the Skylift. Look at that bloody cliff, will ya? One blast of fiery hell from that huge dragon was all it took to split the ground in half.
cargo still need to get through, though, so this mess of wooden pulleys was our solution to the problem. Well, one of them, at least. If the gods were kind, and they ain't, I'd have about a dozen more workers to handle my growing list of headaches. Some pants! A new level! Glad I am to see you again, lad. A wagon driver just returned in a great bloody hurry, screaming about some monstrosity which sprang out from a million corn seedling in his cargo. It seems the gutless bastard tossed it over the side before turning tail and running for his life. I need you to head down the road, recover that seedling, and deliver it to Leolf, over at Swift Perch in western Lenosha. Whatever he pays you for his cargo is yours to keep. After all, I don't rightly know what else is lurking inside that plant, and you deserve to be rewarded for your troubles. Oh, and you'll also find an aetheryte in Swift Perch, so the journey should be worth your while. I am going to... I'm going to double back and go get mandragoras and dodos. And then there's dodos in there, from what I remember. I'm going to continue my little journey for MSQ and see where I end up. I like the attention to detail of, like, his coat gets wet, but only to, like, the part that he was in the water, and then it dries gradually. I think that's such a little thing, but it adds a little bit to the design of the game. So we are actually getting into an area where, like, I'm level 11 and the wild mobs are higher level than me, which is interesting because I have rarely ever experienced that in this game. Ooh, yike. Excellent. Did I pick it up? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna deliver the seedling to Swift Perch now and hopefully run into some dodos along the way. I don't see any dodos up here right now, so I'm just gonna run straight to Swift Perch. Warning, this car does make frequent stops for dodos. Okay. And we made it! I'm gonna attune to this aetheryte, heck yeah! Has Nymea herself forsaken this desolate land? Though I understood there were risks in gambling my entire fortune on a crop of million corn, I at least expected the seedling to be delivered before disaster struck. Is that my million corn seedling? Oh, joyous day. It may seem a paltry beginning, but the yield of this particular variety of crop plant is nothing short of astonishing. As you've undoubtedly noticed, Swift Perch lacks a certain, shall we say, vital energy. Thus I mean to restore a modicum of hope to its residents by growing a veritable ocean of corn. You, sir, seem fit to burst with vim and vigor. Might I persuade you to abide a while and help nurture the sailing settlement? So this will So it's showing worse in stats because the Hempen Cowl is a chest piece and a headpiece, so it needs to have higher stats. But this has intelligence +3 and mind +3. This gives me intelligence +2, mind +2, direct hit rate +2, and vitality +2. So I am going to take the Dalmatica and see if that works better for me. And I learned Resurrection, which is fantastic. This resurrects the target to a weakened state. That usually lives right here. Or is it right there? Swift cast. I think it lives right there. Okay. You there, adventurer. Cast your eyes toward Brewer's Beacon. Does the light not seem uncommonly weak? It cannot be possibly bright enough to guide the ship sailing in the bay. I would march over to the lighthouse and investigate myself, but I'm duty-bound to remain at my post. I'd consider it a favor if you could make a visit to Brewer's Beacon and see if aught had befallen... Oh my god, reading! I would consider it a favor if you could make a visit to the Brewer's Beacon and see if aught has befallen Canswiss, the lighthouse keeper. Oh, dodos! Heck yeah! Wait, those are fat dodos. I need wild dodos. Aw, man! I do have to go back. You say a yellow jacket sent you here? Huh. My light's grown dim, hasn't it? Well, of course it bloody has. The bomb what fuels me furnace is up and buggered off, you see. If I don't get that beacon fixed up soon, there'll be trouble on the water. I know you're just a messenger lad, but I can tell a venturer when I see one. I'm going to need you to chase down that bomb and bring back a claw what you ripped from its smoldering corpse. Take this here iron brazier and set her down in the middle of the flock. Somewhere near the scarecrow, I'd say. You get a nice fire going, and that frisky bomb will soon be about. Once you don't singe your eyebrows, lad. I think I have. Oh, a buzzard. Oh, a level 50 hunt. Better not go near that guy. That's a hostile presence. Toward me? Of course I know him. He's me! All you need to do is take down that runaway bomb and bring me one of its little claws. Hey, you got the ashy bastard, did you? Once I put this little firecracker in the furnace, that should keep things running for a while. I had myself a bit of luck while you was gone, and Lane cursed me if the furnace weren't all bent up and broken. Small wonder the bloody bomb was able to escape. I patched things up the best I could, but I ain't no smithy. You may want to have a chat with that yellow jacket friend of yours in Swift Perch and have him pass the word back to someone in Limsa. Okay, so we are going back to Swift Perch. This buzzard again? Oh my god. I'm gonna get a level just from killing stupid birds that aggro to me. Also, I just heard Walusa's voice in my head saying, "You know, Dilly, you can just run past them." That's not me. That's not in my blood, Walusa. Wild dodos. Wild dodos! Who would have thunk it? I have one more. Get that. Get that. Boop. Yeah. Swift perch? Oh, please. Leave me alone. There's a special connection between Ludwig and birds. The furnace is damaged, is it? Very well, I shall write up the relevant reports, but these repairs must needs be effected without delay. It seems I have another favor to ask you, adventurer. Take yourself straight away to the Armorer's Guild in Limsa and explain the situation to Forge Master Hananza. Ah, go back to Limsa, you say. Return! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Use that return button. Use that return button. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Alright, we're gonna stop by the Arcanist Guild first to turn in the job quest. Oh, Salaben's performing! Wait. Small detour. I want to shout out to my friend Salaben. He doesn't know who I am on this account, but this is a good friend Salaben. He is all of the chickens. They are traveling, and if you are ever... Oh, and the Delicats! If you are ever in Limsa or at any event and you see a bunch of chickens dancing around, that is Salaben. He is an artiste, so shout out to him. So I am going to run to the Arcanist Guild really quick, not another world server. Alright, well, time to read this. By accessing certain aetherytes, it is possible to leave your homeworld and visit other world servers in your data center to party with friends, purchase items, and tackle duties. Be advised that certain restrictions apply when playing on servers other than your home world. You can view a list of these restrictions when accessing an aetheryte that allows world visits.
Welcome back, Ludwig. It appears your coordination with the carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing acumen with a more practical examination? Our work at Melvin's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have had several crates transported to the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates, then return the inspected cargo here to me. You'd be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our customs agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating vilekin. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality.
Alright, and now I need to speak to Forge Master Hananza, who is in the upper decks. Which is by the Act Castle. The furnace in the Brewer's Beacon needs repairs. By Rigott's beard, I just sent someone out to tinker with it not a week past. Mayhap the bomb Canswiss had trapped in there was a touch too volatile. I'll have an artisan visit the lighthouse and pay special attention to reinforcing the casing of that furnace. Your work is done here, adventurer. May the navigator guide you on your journeys. Update my gear. Awesome. Let's look at that. Oh man, I am styling and profiling. Woo! I kind of want to leave it on him. He looks like a water polo player. Okay. Forge Master Hinanza, here we go. What say you, taking on some work from Naldic and Vimelis? We have a great hulking warship to build and could certainly use an extra hand for any number of tasks. For your first job, I need you to run this missive over to Otberm, the head shipwright at the Morby Dry Docks. We forge most of the ship's bits and pieces here at the Armorers Guild, but the actual construction takes place at the docks found in the south of Lower Lenosha. That's also where you'll find the main offices of Naldic and Vimelis. The Morby Dry Docks is one of Limsa-Lomince's most important districts, at least as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you'll not regret attuning yourself to the area's aetheryte. If you've no confidence in your sense of direction, you'd best be served making use of the Chocobo Porters, first floor of the mizzenmast, in case you were wondering. Should you choose to make the trek on your own 2 feet, leave the city through the Tempest Gate and follow the road south. May the navigator guide your steps. Before I do that, I am going to go to Zephyr Gate, which is far from here, and do my job quests. So we will continue with that. Actually, scratch what I just said. We're going to go to Morby Dry Docks, turn that in, and then we are going to do the job quest, and then we will do the MSQ in the next episode. Oh, it's gonna take a minute to run down there. Missive for me from Forge Master Hinanza. I assume it pertains to the pending arrival of materials I ordered over a moon past. Let's see it then. Blast and botheration! Another delay? I'm well aware of the shortage of skilled artisans, but this is insufferable! My apologies, the messenger does not deserve to bear the brunt of my frustration. Might I have your name? Ludwig, is it? Well, Ludwig, this proud maiden you see taking shape before you is the Victory, the first new vessel to grace the dock since the Calamity. We may have lost the bulk of our ships that fateful day, but starting with this beauty, we will restore the Maelstrom's fleet to its former glory. The Victory is more than a simple warship. It is the symbol of Limsa-Lomince's rebirth from the wreckage wrought by the coming of the 7th Umbral Era. Thus, we are striving to complete her construction as swiftly as possible, even going so far as to hire veteran shipwrights from outside the thalassocracy. Yet even with such unprecedented measures, there are never enough hands to handle the abundance of tasks. Should you choose to linger at the docks for a time, there is no end of odd jobs for a hard-working adventurer. Be you fair warned, there is no place here for layabouts and troublemakers. Nice. Little level up. I'm going to put on the new shoes I got, and then I am going to inspect the crates outside of the Zephyr Gate, which might be... Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to Summerford and run. I've been recording for an hour and a half.
This isn't good. I might have to cut this in two.
You never know. Maybe I've done a half hour of running.
Why are you running?
Let's see what is inside. Oh, and would you look at that? Tree slugs. Who would have thought? Absolutely bodied. Let's grab these crates. Since for the present, allow me a moment to cogitate. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within the expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect a proficient performance against the enemies set against you. Yet effective though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see, taking into account your current level of ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, then applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios. Oh dear, my calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9,785. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I'm Kalia, a Melvin's Gate assessor. Acting Guildmaster Thubergeim elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcanima. From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail regarding your choice of arcane geometries. What factor most influences your actions during battle? I simply do what feels right. Aha! Just as I predicted. Now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an Arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. Well, our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence. He did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as wielder of Arcanima. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray return directly to the guild. I believe Mistress Thubergeim is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there's no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. The little wave. That was cute. Alright.
Ludwig.
Yes, everything seems to be in order. Yes, everything seems to be in order, relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Kalia regarding your performance. She seemed eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instructions she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to her art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tome Kalia carries? That initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor to help her broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You've done well this day, Ludwig. Continue your practice with Carbuncle as Kalia has bid. I will be here when the time comes for your next lesson. I don't think I have a ring, so I'm going to take the bone ring. Yep, perfect. Yes, Ludwig. The time for your next lesson is upon us. You are keeping well, I trust, taking the occasional brisk walk. One cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Now, assuming you've been following Kalia's instructions, you should be ready to face the more dangerous threats found in western Lenosha. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. 'Tis the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test case, the second to test your hypothesis, and the third to perfect the tactics you've devised. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist of more than simply flinging ruin over and over again. You are not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought to reflect that. If you find yourself wanting for other approaches, consider an assault in ruin. If you find yourself wanting for other approaches, consider an assault with ruin in tandem with attacks from your own carbuncle. When timed appropriately, oh my god. When timed appropriately, you can deal a crippling blow to your opponent. Where's that? Please? Oh, goodness me. Get out of here. Swift Perch. Yeah, I'll spend the gil.
I'm a little lazy. I'm a little lazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Rose Length. Ludwig. How did it feel to conquer such ferocious foes? Let us ride that wave of triumph onto an even more demanding and dangerous challenge. Your next training exercise will have you accompanying Foreseer Kalia on one of her inspections. This experience will afford you the opportunity to witness firsthand the practical application of Arcanima. Pray do not tarry, Ludwig. Kalia awaits you on the floor below with further details. Timely appearance, as I expected. Shall we proceed directly to the job at hand? I've been tasked with examining the wares of a goblin peddler caravan run by the Boylestocks family. Our agents suspect these beastmen merchants in dealing forbidden goods. As such, I've calculated that announcing an inspection has a 60% chance of inviting physical violence. I have prepared a strategy to respond to this possible shift in hostilities, but there is an important precondition you should be made aware of before we discuss the finer points of my plan. Though I am considered gifted in the formation of tactics, I lack the reflexes and coordination necessary to employ many of those self-same strategies on the field of battle. Pray keep this factor in mind and adjust your perceptions accordingly. Now, should the gobbies offer battle, you are to execute Now, should the gobbies offer battle, you are to execute combat pattern 1345, otherwise known as stratagem, focus, fire. You and your carbuncle will concentrate your attacks on a single foe, and one by one the enemy will wither under the combined onslaught. Probability of victory, 95%. Reports place the peddlers in the vicinity of the cook pot in Middle Lenosha. I will depart immediately to assess the situation. Seek me out once you arrive. Which has an instance for me. Dear Kalia of Melvin's Gate, you are to cease all transactions and surrender your goods for inspection.
Nasty snaky pakers, gotta spit up planter nosy eyes on stabby iron.
A predictably aggressive response. Very well. I can't read. I just can't read today. A predictably aggressive response. Very well, Ludwig. Remember what we discussed. No. No time. Execute stratagem. Focus fire. Strike now with all your might. Do not forget the precondition. Adjust your tactics accordingly. Ludwig, switch to combat pattern 2538. Evasive maneuvers. Nicely done. Adaptation, improvisation. I might have been observing our beloved guildmaster himself in action. This was the perfect example of how the strategy for a given task should be tailored to the abilities of the assessor. In other words, before you begin formulating your tactics, it is necessary to fully understand your own strengths and weaknesses. On that note, there is another question I would ask you. When it comes to improving the probable success of a strategy, do you consider it more effective to concentrate on playing to your strengths or shoring up your weaknesses? I'm gonna say enhancing my strengths. Oh, again, you respond as a guildmaster once did. I must revise the probability for your potential to attain greatness to 97%. You're one to keep an eye on, that much is certain. But to return to this subject of battle plans, your calculations must include an accurate assessment of your available techniques and their relative effectiveness. This requires you to be critically aware of your own limits, the limits of your allies, and the characteristics of your enemies. I believe that covers everything for today. Please return to the guild and make your report to Mistress Thubergeim. Until next we meet. I shall abide here until the Yellow Jackets arrive to take the peddlers into custody. My strategies will keep me company. Yes, I just paid that amount of gil. I'm lazy. Back from the field, Ludwig. Kalia contacted me with a summary of events. It seems you were treated to a lecture on knowing thyself. That particular lesson is ordinarily taught to only intermediate practitioners. Without a sufficient store of combat expertise from which to draw, it is difficult to fully appreciate the profundity of such a simple-seeming truth. Nevertheless, I feel confident that you will soon be ready for a more ambitious assignment. Keep to your studies and maintain the razor edge of your mind. One last thing, Ludwig. Considering the dedication you've shown toward our discipline, I've decided to permit you leave to explore the teachings offered by the other guilds. I would suggest, however, that you first master the science of Arcanima. The strategic training you receive here will serve you well no matter the path you eventually choose to walk. Return to me when your reason tells you the time is right. Alright, the gloves seem to suit me best here. Oh, my armory has been unlocked. You now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock the other classes can be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist in the corresponding guild. There exist myriad disciplines in Eorzea that adventurers can take up. For the most rewarding experience, however, it's recommended that you first focus on mastering your current class. You now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock other classes can be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist in the corresponding guild. It should be noted that in addition to martial classes, you may also choose to become a Disciple of the Hand, one who synthesizes items from on-hand materials, or a Disciple of the Land, one who harvests resources from the field. Mastering more than one class is the first step to becoming a well-rounded adventurer. From here, I am going to go back to where MSQ is, which is at the Morby Dry Docks. And right here in front of Otbrim... Have I been saying Otbrim? I hope not. Right here in front of Otbrim is where I will call it good for today and our journey with Ludwig. I have been recording for an insane amount of time, so hopefully this isn't a really long episode, but we shall see. Thank you all for coming along for this journey today, and I will see you in the next episode, maybe with Lud, maybe with Sonya. We'll see. Bye!